Hello guys, this is Aman from GyanDhan. At GyanDhan, we have helped thousands of students and working professionals to get education loan for their abroad education. Today in this video, we are going to talk about how to get an education loan for someone who is applying with self-employed professional as a co-applicant. So we'll discuss in details what difference does it make when you change the co-applicant from a salaried person to a self-employed, and that too in self-employed, a working professional versus a business. Before we start, let's take a pause. If this is the first video you're watching of GyanDhan, please don't. I would recommend you to go and watch other videos on unsecured loans on our channel. That will give you an understanding of unsecured loans in general, because we're talking about a very specific point in unsecured loan. But I would still want to give you a quick recap of unsecured loans. So unsecured loans are loans without collateral, available where you don't have to give any tangible asset as a security to the lender. So typically there are two kind of lenders that you can take loan from. One is international lender, other is Indian lenders. Now, even in Indian lenders, there are different kind of lenders from which you can take a loan from. One is bank, other is NBFC. Now, in unsecured loan, there are three major factors on which a loan depends. One is the college and course you're going for. Second, your and your co-applicant credit history. And third, the income of the co-applicant. Now, we will talk about this specific case when your co-applicant is a self-employed working professional. Now, what do I mean by self-employed working professional? Now, self-employed working professional may be someone who is a CA and they practice on their own, someone who is a doctor and they have opened their own private clinic, or someone who is a lawyer who has opened on his individual capacity a private office. In all such scenario, I will say that these professions will be considered as self-employed working professional. Now, what can be the other kind of self-employed people? The other kind can be the person who has opened a business, himself, herself, all the micro entrepreneurs of India, somebody who is running a kirana shop, somebody who is running a grocery shop, all of them will come in self-employed business professional. So the third will be self-employed freelancer. So we'll talk about all in details. So let's first start with self-employed working professional. Now let's say your co-applicant is one of the self-employed working professional. What do we need in such case? All we need is the proof of that self-employment. So let's say if you have opened an office, or if you have started your own practice as a lawyer, as a doctor, then you need to show the required approvals for that business. Apart from that, ITR will be needed. In general, 3-year ITRs are required for abroad education loan that you need to have. Apart from that, other factors like how old is the setup and how much is the income will be considered. So for example, if you are looking for a 40 lakh unsecured loan, this self-employed working professional co-applicant should file an ITR of 5 to 6 lakh rupees per month to the very least. Now, you might be wondering that, okay, hey, you have someone who don't file ITR, watch till end and I will tell you some of the loopholes where you will be able to get loans without these ITRs as well. But we'll talk about that in the end. So the second kind of self-employed people is the people who have their own businesses, and that is the micro entrepreneurs in India running their own businesses. I'm sure in everybody's relation you will have somebody who is running their own shop or something. In that case also, the requirement in terms of the document is almost similar. You need the ITR, you need the proof of establishment of the business, but apart from that, they can be asked for the GST certificate. Now, one of the problems that we face in this particular segment where people are running their own shops is that they don't file ITR. So if you are planning to have a self-employed businessman as your co-applicant, you need to check him or her that if they file the ITR or not. If you are a couple of years away from your abroad education, in that case, you can ask him to file the ITRs. If not, then obviously you will not be able to get loan basis that particular co-applicant, and you will have to arrange someone else as the co-applicant. Now the third kind of self-employed professional is freelancer. And so if your co-applicant works as a freelancer, the first thing to check is, hey, if he or she files the ITR or not. Now, let me tell you a biasness of the lenders towards freelancers. unfortunately, in our society, freelance is not being considered as the, I would say, the stable income source. Now it depends on, hey, if you get the project today or if you don't get the project tomorrow, then the income can be, less or more according to that. So in such cases, as I said, the first thing to check if they filed the ITR or not, and there are multiple years of ITR. The best way to let a lender know about the stability of the income of the freelancer is checking whether the person has filed ITR for multiple years. So let's say if there is a freelancer who has filed ITR for last 5 years or last 6 years, that gives the confidence to the lender that, okay, hey, even though this person works on the freelance basis, but this person has longer income history, and that will give the confidence to the lender to consider him or her as your co-applicant. Now, in all the scenario, you must have noticed that in terms of documentation, ITR is the most common thing. Apart from that, the proof of establishment of the setup, be it business, be it your own office, GST certificate might be required, and at times, if banks wants to understand more, they might ask for the P&L of the business. So that is another requirement that can come into the picture. Now, what about those cases where you don't have these ITRs or these documents in place? And I mentioned at the start of the video that there are loopholes that are there through which you can get by even without these documents. Now, all the requirement that I have told you till now is for a loan from the Indian lender, right? Now, if you don't have a collateral in co-applicant, there's another way to secure a loan, that is from the international lender. So international lenders are the lenders based out of other countries who gives loans for the Indian students. Now there are a couple of international lenders who are most active in the Indian geography, where you will be able to get a loan without collateral, without co-applicant. But there the catch is that you should go to the college and course which is in their list of the colleges and course for which they give loan without collateral and without co-applicant. Now, if you want to find out if your college is in that list or not, you will have to get in touch with the GyanDhan loan counselor, and they will let you know if you will be eligible for without collateral or without co-applicant loan or not. Another way to get a loan from the international lender is to have a co-signer in that particular country. That is a very rare use case, but I would want to mention that if that's something that is true in your case. Now, if you are not going to a college and country, even in that list, what is the other way? Now, there are exceptional cases. When I say what is the exceptional cases, let's say if you are going to one of the top 10, top 20 colleges in the world, right? In that case, not having a co-applicant can be okay. You should be able to arrange finances in that case. Or if you have a very good GRE or GMAT score, in that case also, we can convince a lender to lend you without a strong co-applicant or without a financial co-applicant. Apart from that, in few of the cases where the co-applicant was not there, but the applicant himself or herself has a very long working history and they themselves were doing very great in India, those were granted the loans basis their own profile without a involvement of a co-applicant. So all such scenarios are there, all such permutation and combination are there. The quick way to check if you are eligible for an unsecured education loan or not is to click on the link given below. Check the loan eligibility. It will take at most 2 to 2.5 minutes to fill you this 2-page form, and at the end you will see whether you are eligible for the loan or not. If eligible, you will see what is the amount, what is the interest rate that you are eligible for, and the next step. Even if you are not going in the next few months, even in that case, I would recommend you to check loan eligibility and talk to our loan counselor once and find out if you will be eligible for an unsecured loan or not. The best part is that our services are completely free and you won't have to pay a single penny to us for these services. In fact, we will be able to save you a lot of money throughout the process. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any further question, feel free to put it in the comment box and we'll get back to you with the answer in a very short period of time. Thanks a lot. Please stay.